right, I hope everybody is well on this beautiful Sunday morning. The weather is getting better and things are looking great. So today we are featuring Be My Valentine. Okay, here's the stamp set that we are using today. And here is the punch. So yeah, lots of cute images. And the paper, the bee paper is so pretty. Let me take a moment to show you some of the patterns before we get started. All right, so there is this cute one, and it has some daisies on the back. And then we have this one that has the swirls and the honey jars, and we will be using this one today on our card. I have multiple packs in here, so. All right, so this is one side and the other side. How pretty is that? Then we have the little flying bees and the background full of hearts. Okay, stripes and some flowers. You've seen all those. The honeycomb, I believe we've seen. Oh, this one with the yellow plaid in the background. How pretty is that? I think that's my last sheet of that one. And then all the rest of these you've already seen. So, yeah. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Love this set. I think I'm going to need at least one more package of this paper before the catalog goes away. So, definitely love that one. For celebration items this month, this is one of the packs of paper that you can earn for free. And it has some gold patterns on the side A. And then side B is more Valentine-y and pink. And I will show you that. Oh, I love that one. And then this one. And then if we flip them over, and you get two of each sheet. Love this one. And then this one has the hearts. And some more hearts. And the flirty flamingo. And another plaid. And then a marble. So that is one of the packs of paper that you can earn for free this month with a $50 purchase. There is also this pack of paper that is called Sunny Days, and this coordinates with a new stamp set in the Holiday Mini. All right, so there's side A, side B, side A, side B, side A, side B, side A, side B, side A, ooh, kind of out of focus, and side B. We are lacking in some focus here. That's a little bit better. Side A and B. All right, so, and then there are some adorable free stamp sets, like the watermelon stamp set is super, super cute. So I hope you check that out when you are on my website, placing your order. So today I have found a PDF for you that I'm recreating, and the original person who came up with this or demonstrated this, so this is her PDF, and her name is Melissa Stout, and she is the Stamp Doc, and you can find her on YouTube. And so she gives you all these great instructions on how to make our card today. And I will be stamping with you today. I'm going to set that there. But here is the card. Now I have a clip on it just to keep it closed. And we're going to ready, set, and we're going to open up. And this is your Stadium Wave pop-up card. Now, I'm going to tell you, it looks way more complicated than it is, but rest assured, it is not complicated at all. So we're going to just set that right here. And I'm going to go ahead and get a pile of blocks out here because we are using so many stamps from this set. So that way we will be nice and ready. So we're going to start off first by creating this panel right here. And I'm going to use my stamp mat here. And this is our shape. Grab my ink pads. So we're going to start off first by stamping our leaves. I'm just going to take that off here. And I'm going to just place them upside down on my panel so I can stamp them right where I want them all at once, okay? I'm going to go ahead and pick those up. And then I'm using Parakeet Party. Give it a little tap tap. And we're going to stamp. Okay. There we go. And we are done with that color. I'm going to go ahead and stick those right back on. Now I need my flowers. And those we stamped in Sweet Sorbet. Go ahead and stamp that there. And that there. And we will be using Sweet Sorbet again here in a moment. Now I'm going to take my sentiment that says, "You're sweet as honey." And this was a long sentiment on the stamp, and I actually just cut it in half because I wanted it to be a 2-line sentiment. So I'm going to put my "as honey" right down there, and then "you're sweet, you're as sweet as honey." So I'm going to kind of place it where I want it. That looks good. Now I'm going to get a block here, pick it up. There we are. Now I'm going to take my Memento Black ink. Give it a good inking. And with words, you don't want to press too hard because you don't want them to squish, but you want to have a good impression. There you are. And put my sentiment back here. And then I'm going to grab my trail, my little bug trail, and I'm going to put it on my bigger block here. And I'm going to grab just a piece of paper here, stick it underneath because we're going to stamp off. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just stamp my little trail just like that. All right, now that piece is done until I'm ready to put it on the bumblebee. So we're going to set that right there. Move some of my blocks out of the way here. And now we are going to do a little bit more stamping. I have this red piece and we're going to be stamping the hearts or the wings in the stamp set. This stamp here is also the solid part for the wings, or it is a heart. And this one is a heart, but the punch actually punches out the heart, but it's actually the antenna. So I'm going to demonstrate that today. So first I'm going to take, and I'm going to get a smaller block here. Okay, and I'm going to just random stamp with this sweet sorbet all around, just to add a little texture and dimension so that this piece does not look so flat. I'm actually going to leave that one mounted because we will be using it. And I'm going to take the small heart and I'm just going to fill in. Kind of mostly around the edges because the inside will be covered with our white piece. All right, maybe one little more right there. Okay, close that for now. And I believe I am done with my little heart. So we're gonna just stick that right there. Now I'm gonna take and grab a blending brush. And I'm just going to do a little ink blending around the edges of this red piece with that sweet sorbet, just to give it a little more dimension and kind of highlight the center part. Okay. Just a little bit around the edges is all we need. Perfect. And now that's what that piece looks like. All right, so we have these three pieces are going to be our front. So I'm going to go ahead and set those aside. For my inside, I have a Daffodil Delight and I have a piece of the DSP with the bees. So you can totally do whatever side you want. But before I get started on assembling my inside, I'm going to trim my Daffodil Delight by 1/4 of an inch on two sides. So when I am done, I want it to measure 4 inches by 5 1/4. And if you're using a Stampin' Up! Trimmer, this first little line after the blade is 1/4 inch. So it's a quick and easy measurement. Okay, so now that piece measures 4 by 5 1/4. And it should be the exact same size as your DSP, okay? So those are your two inside pieces. On my original card, I used the gingham, but today I'm going to switch it and I'm going to use this side, and then that part is my bottom. So those two pieces are ready when we assemble. Have just a little bit more stamping to do. And that is on this little die cut piece here in my little scratch paper. Let me grab my Daffodil Delight. Nope, that's not it. All right, Daffodil Delight. And I need the sentiment that says, "You make my heart buzz." And we're going to put that on a block. And grab my Memento ink again. And I'm just going to stamp it a little bit off center towards the right side. Okay. Then I'm going to take the honeycombs and the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to stamp some honeycomb on the upper right hand corner and all over the left side. Just trying to decide how I want it. We'll do it like this. So it kind of goes in. And then I'm going to try and line it up so I have a little more. There we are. Good enough. That, and finally, to this piece, I have this trio of hearts here. Super little. We're not done with the Daffodil Delight, but I'm going to close it first. Oh, just stuck my whole thumb there. And I'm going to take a little red heart trio, and I'm just going to stamp it right there in the lower left-hand corner. There we are. So there is my inside panel. And I'm going to just take my piercing tool here, and I'm going to pop out these little holes that the die created. There we go. So now that piece is all ready for the inside. Now to stamp some bumblebees. All right, I have a piece of cardstock here, and I am going to cut it down to 1.5 inches. And this will be because this will help fit into my punch a little bit easier. And I'm going to demonstrate how to do that. And another piece that's 1.5. And then maybe we'll be able to use that piece too. All right, so here we are. All right, I'm going to take this and this piece right here, and I'm going to just set this here, and I'm going to take the solid, my bumblebee body, and I know that I need 8 bumblebees. So one thing I was learning while stamping and prepping for this class is the lighter I pounce on my ink pad, the better ink coverage I get. So there's one. It's not great, but you know, that's okay. It will look great in the end. All right, now we are going to stamp again. And I need 8 of these. So 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Nancy. I'm glad that you're here watching today. 4. 5. Okay, I'm going to just set those aside. And now I'm going to stamp 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do a couple more because I have those couple that didn't turn out real great. 9 and 10. All right. So that's the first part of the bumblebee. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to grab the striped part of our bumblebee. There we are. And you notice I stamped these just a little bit apart so that I have room to add my body with the stinger. Okay, we need room for the stinger. And when we line up these bees, you just kind of look through your block and line up your stinger and press down. Okay. And it's okay if they're not perfect. By the time we get them on the card, nobody is really even going to know the difference. All right, that's one set. I'm going to put a body on this one, even though it's not perfect. And I just want to see how it turns out. Because, you know, it might be usable. The black might just cover up those little blemishes that didn't come out very even. Not really, but that's okay. It was no harm, no foul. All right, so though that part is finished. Now I'm going to stamp some faces on our bumblebees, and we have in this set a variety of faces. So let's look here. We have this guy. He looks a little angry, annoyed, maybe annoyed at the other bees buzzing around. We have this cute little one, a little winky, and then this one right here. So I like this one is my favorite, but I'm going to use this one and this one and this one on my card. All right, so we're going to start off with the smiley face one. And I know that 8 out of 8 bees, 4 of them need to be facing up and down. So we're going to go 1, 2. 2 of my bees facing up and down will have that face. And then let me see here. I have actually I have 5 bees facing up and down, and then 3 on the side, 2 facing to the left and 1 facing to the right. So 2 facing to the left, there's 1 to the left, and then this one to the right. So we just flip them over, okay? That's the first face. Now I'm going to find my next one. Here's my winky face. And I need 1 more facing this way. There we go. And here's my up and down bees. 1, 2, and I said I needed 5 up and down ones. All right, so there's those. And now I'm going to take the third face. And we're going to go that way. And I'm just going to put a face on this guy. There we go. And I'm going to put a face on this other guy that was kind of blemished, but that's okay. Because I don't think I want to waste him because they're just too cute. All right, so that is our bumblebees. Now, before we move on, I also need wings. And let me tell you, I need 13 sets of wings. Grab some more strips of paper here for 13 sets of wings. All right, so I need my big heart, which I left on its block. And for the wings, I am using Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo. Now, Petal Pink is going to be the solid portion of the wings. And the Flirty Flamingo is going to be the outline of the wings. Yes, Nancy, I love this set. Now, let me show you, when you go to punch these, your wings are kind of like tilted at an angle towards the right. So when I stamp them, I also want to tilt them at an angle towards the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 sets. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so that's 12. I need 13, so there's one more. Now I'm going to take and switch out my background for my outline. And I'm going to switch my ink color to Flirty Flamingo. There we go. And you just line it up, and that is an adorable wing. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It will be cute no matter what. There we are. And we'll do all of our punching at one time, so. Perfect. And the last little bit that I need to stamp before we can start punching our bees are the antenna. And since I have 8 bees, I need 8 sets of antenna. That block's a little bit too big. There we are. And you'll notice that the antenna are facing kind of down, so I'm going to stamp them upside down. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 for good measure because this one didn't turn out really well. All right. All right, now we are all done with all of the stamping. Go ahead and stick that, put that away. Get all my blocks out of here so I have room to work. Done with my Stampin' Pierce mat. Done with my blending brush. All right, so here is my original card. We'll put that here. Now we're going to do some punching. So with the wings, you want to start from, if you hold the punch in your right hand and you're looking through the back, if you stick it in from this end, you're not going to interfere with any of those hearts. So there's 1, 2, and they're pretty easy to line up. Okay. All right, this heart is going to end up cutting one of my little antenna. So I'm going to just take a sticky note. Thanks, Sandy. I'm glad you're here watching. And make my sticky note my little holder so that I can stick this in. and give it a nice quick punch. There we are. And then that part's dry. All right. I do have a few little extra scraps, but they're just that. You can just throw that part away. Now I'm going to work on the antenna. And remember, I stamped them upside down, so we're going to go in from the antenna side, line it up, and punch. That one's messed up, so I'm not even going to punch it. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm focusing on punching these. They're all landing in the bee body area, which is nice. I'll have them all in one spot. All right, there we go. There are the antennas. I'm wearing some paper scraps here. There we are. And finally, the bumblebee. Now we cut this on 1.5 inch strips because now, just like the other things, we're going to just slide it in and punch. And we're not going to have a lot of extra waste punching out those hearts. The upside down bee, just because he's going to face the other direction. All right, so that's the first strip. And now we're going to rock through the next strip, and it will be easy peasy lemon squeezy as well. I just love how quickly these bees come together. And that is all of our bees. So before we start on the pop-up mechanism, I'm going to bring out my silicone mat. And I am going to start putting my bees together. And I will tell you, they are much easier to put together on the silicone mat. Because we have one facing that way, two facing that way. Okay, there we go. I have them sorted. So I have 3 bees facing to the left. So I'm going to put 3 sets of everything here on my mat, just like this. Okay. Now, the reason I do it like this is because it's a lot easier to line up your stuff. So I'm going to put my glue on the tips of all of my wings, right there, and then on the tips of my antenna. And now I'm going to take my wing, or my bumblebee, and I am going to tap it on the first antenna and then tap it on the wing. And if I don't like it, I have a little bit of wiggle room, and that one's done. So again, tap it on the antenna, tap it on the wing, and he is done. Tap it on the antenna, tap it on the wings, and done. So just a quick little tip on when you are assembling your bees. Now I'm going to take my sideways bee, and I'm only going to put, I think I'm going to use this little guy. And there's my antenna, and there's my wing for him. So a little dot of glue, a little dot of glue, a little antenna, and a little wing. Okay. And now I'm going to take just an acrylic block, and I'm just going to set it on top of those so those can dry nice and flat. Now for my bees facing up, I kind of position everything on my silicone mat. I think I did too many bees going the other way, because now I only have enough wings for 4 facing up. So I am going to take the wings off of this guy because I need them. And this was the one that had the sticky note, so I'm just going to peel that sticky note right off the back there. And put your wings or antenna right there. Have extra antenna. That's okay. We're going to set that there. All right, now we're going to dot, dot, dot. And for these, it doesn't really matter. You know, with the ones facing sideways, you want to really put the wings on first, or the antenna on first. And now I'm just going to kind of set it down like that, and then I can pick it up and I can kind of adjust my wings however I want, and I'm going to just throw that right there underneath my block. A little dot, a little dot, and a little dot. Set my big bee on top, pick up all those pieces, adjust them. There we go. So if you do that, the bees like in an assembly line, they go together pretty quickly. Here we are. So what's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is crafting or having a good time. I plan on maybe working on some Christmas cards this afternoon. Yes, I said Christmas. I know it's a year away, but I didn't get nearly as many made last year as I wanted. And so I am going to commit to making 10 Christmas cards a month. And then at Christmas time, I'll start the season with 120 done. All right, there we are. So there are all of the bees. I'm going to set those 2 aside. All right, so everybody should have received this piece of cardstock. It's white, and it measures 10 inches by 7 inches, and it's already been scored for you. It was scored at 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, 2 inches, and 6 inches along the 10-inch side. Now I'm going to take my trimmer and I am going to cut with the 7-inch side at the top. I'm going to cut this down into 1-inch strips. And the nice thing about the Stampin' Up! Trimmer is I have a 1-inch mark here to the right side of my blade. So I can just use that mark to do my 1-inch strips so that I can keep as much along the top to help keep my paper as straight as possible. There we are. So there are our 7 1-inch strips. Now, there was discussion. So I'm going to show you how to fold these, and we're going to do the same thing 7 times. All right. So we're going to fold on the score mark. Grab my bone folder here. And then we're going to go fold in, up, and down. So we have this mountain, valley, mountain fold. So it looks like this, okay? Then I'm going to take just a little bit of liquid glue, or you could use double-sided tape, whatever you want. And I'm going to hold this down just like that. I'm going to set my block on it, and it's going to stick down to dry. Okay? I'm going to do that to all of these. I'll demonstrate that again. There we are. Fold in, up and down. Put a little adhesive on the flap. And glue those down. And then I'm going to set my block on it to let it dry. All right, I was going to say something, but now that thought is gone. So I don't know what I was going to say. Sorry about that. I noticed my strips aren't as straight as I had hoped they would be, but you know, that's okay. They will turn out just fine. You can use your bone folder to straighten them out. Okay. There we go. So there is this adorable ice cream cone set in the little holiday catalog. And let me tell you, that's what I'm using for February. February is going to be the ice cream cone set. I cannot wait. All right. Keep going through the process. There we are. Give myself a little bone folder action. Oh, the original maker of this card, she actually had a belly band on her card. And I considered doing a belly band, and I'll show you where you could insert one if you chose to. But my problem with belly bands is what does the recipient do with the belly band when they have the card on display? Like, the belly band literally sits there next to it, or gets lost, or, you know, whatever. Because, you know, we put a lot of time and effort into these beautiful handmade cards that we make. And so I was like, gosh, you know, realistically, when the recipient has it, it's going to be displayed open, right? So where's the belly band going to sit? It's going to sit next to it, right? So that is why I opted not to put a belly band on this card. However, if you wanted to, you could just take a black strip and attach it to this piece here on the back of it, and this could be like the front part that your belly band would go on. So, because I just thought, you know, when the recipient gets this card, they're going to take it out of the envelope and they're going to want to display it. I mean, it's cute, and it's got a lot of action going on inside. So that was my thought and my reasoning for not putting a belly band on. Okay. Because look at how nice that would be sitting up on somebody's mantle. Okay. All right. So now we are going to take some double-sided tape. So I am going to use some score tape, and you can use whatever. And we're going to put score tape down the right-hand side of each one from the top. And this is the top, you know, with this piece here. So make sure that that's at the top. And we're going to just take a piece of score tape or tear tape or whatever two-sided tape you have. And we're going to put it down the right edge of 6 of these. Okay. If you accidentally put it on the 7th one, it's okay. We'll make it work, okay? Did I do that wrong? No, I didn't. Man, when you second guess yourself, right? Okay. So there we are with our tear and tape on 6 of them, except, and then you have the one that does not. Now I'm going to take, and I'm going to peel off the tear and tape off of one, peel off the backing, and I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to line it up about halfway in the middle, just like that, nice and straight, and press it down, okay? So that's 2 connected, okay? Then I'm going to do that with the 3rd one, and I'm not using the one that doesn't have any tape on it. So lining it up about halfway the long ways, just like that, and giving it a good press. You want to keep doing this and keep your line at the bottom as straight as you can, okay? That's very important. You don't want it to be crooked, all right? So just like that. Hi, Zeus. Go get it. My dog is sitting here staring at me as I'm doing this video. All right, here we go. Now the last one that you're going to put on is the one with no adhesive, okay? Here we go. Just like that. So now your mechanism is made. All right, I'm going to grab my card base, and for my card base is in black, and I'm going to assemble the front of the card first, okay? So I have this piece, and I have this piece, and then I have this piece, and I'm going to pop it up. So I made these pieces just a little bit bigger so that one will overlap the other. You can decide which one you want to overlap, okay? Does not matter. I'm going to have the red overlap. So that means I'm going to put my honey piece on first. Okay. Make sure it's right. There we go. And then I will take my sweet sorbet pattern DSP that we made, and I will line it up so it's centered. So here's my score line. I can see it. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera. So that I have a nice border. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to take the borders of my dimensionals because that's what I have left on these. And of course we use all of it. Okay. And some in the middle so it doesn't get crushed in the mail. Go ahead and peel the backings off. So satisfying when you have an empty sheet. All right. Now, so this piece here, if you wanted a belly band, you would put it attached to this piece so that would be removable. Or you could attach your bumblebee to the belly band and have it going over the top of your white piece. All right, now I'm going to take my bumblebee and again using the remains. I have a lot of these just kind of hanging out. All right. That should work. Now we'll peel off our backing. And if you're going to mail this card, it's going to need extra postage. And I would either mail it in a bubble mailer or at least a 5x7 card envelope. There we go. So that's the front. How cute is that? Now let's get the inside put together. So like I said, I wanted to use this pattern on the top. So putting my glue all over and then centering that. Here we go. And now my Daffodil Delight cardstock is for the bottom. And before I get too far, I need to stamp in white my card name because it will be very difficult for me to add that in a minute. So let me heat set that real quick. I did not put my stamp on my original card. And I won't be able to because it's too bulky. All right, that should be good. Okay, I'm going to wait to put this piece on, but I am going to put the dimensionals on the back because it is also popped up. There we go. And now that piece is gone. All right, so here's how we are going to put our mechanism in. So I'm going to kind of center it. See how it's centered there? Okay, practice folding it. All right, now I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm only going to put it on this first flap, just like that. Then I'm going to fold my card over and I'm going to hold it for just a second. Give that glue some time to set up. You could use tear and tape at this point too. But I know it won't come apart with liquid glue. All right, now I'm going to take and lay that flat. And it's okay. You can see mine's a little bit crooked. Nobody will notice by the time you get all the action on there. So there's my liquid glue on that piece, and I'm going to fold it over. Now you see how this back is not sturdy, so I would not be able to stamp my stamp on the back. So if you have a stamp that signifies your creation, make sure you do that before this step. All right, now we're going to open it up, and it looks like that. Now I can take the backing off of this, and I'm going to stick that in the lower corner. And now I'm going to put my bees on. So when you attach your bees, you want to attach them to the top of the fold, not the bottom. So the top of the fold. So I'm going to start with this little bee, and he is facing to the left. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of him. And he is going to go right there, not passing the fold. Okay. See how you can see that? Okay. You might have to like hold it for a second if you're using liquid glue. Okay. Then you can really do these however you want. I'm going to do a bee that is, we'll put him right there. So you kind of want to see where you're going to put your glue. Okay. Give them a good press. Make sure they're not crossing that score mark, okay? Otherwise, they will get bent. Now, I like this bee right there. Hold it for a second. There we are. Always checking to make sure I'm not going the wrong way. Oh, this bee, he's going to be looking to the right. Just like that. And then the next one, he can go just like so. And he's going to go the opposite direction. And then I'm going to leave my last sideways facing bee. He's going to be for the bottom because he'll fit better at the bottom. And when you're gluing them, make sure that they all are going to stay within the confines of the edges of the card, okay? Because you don't really want any sticking out. Ta-da! How adorable. And that is our card. So there is, so you can see the difference. I used the plaid on the first card, and I used the buzzing bees on the second card. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed our class for today and that you found my instructions and my process a little easier, and that you weren't as scared as you thought you'd be. So anyway, there is your Hostess Club card for this month. I look forward to seeing you next month. Have a great day. Bye-bye.